Hi guys, I'm Juliana and I will talk to you about some words and definitions about the technology. That is, scientific knowledge used in practical ways in industry. For example, in designing new machines. Let's go! Computers have a lot of data. Data are the individual facts out of the context, have no meaning, and are so difficult to understand. They are often referred to raw data. They are the raw facts worked through with meaning, but they aren't yet information. Information? What is it? Information is a set of data in context with relevance to one or more people at a point of time or for a period of the time. Information is more than data in context. It must have relevance and a time frame. Information that has been returned with an understanding of their meaning is called knowledge. Knowledge is cognition, the fact or condition of knowing something with familiar with experience or association. Is the acquaintance with or the understand something, the fact or condition of being aware of something, or apprehending truth or fact. Knowledge is the information that has been returned with an understanding about the significance of the information. Knowledge includes something gained by experience, study, familiar, association, awareness, and or comprehension. An information system is the combination of hardware and software and telecommunication networks that people build to collect, create, and distribute useful data. Typically, in an organization, the objective of an information system is to provide appropriate information to the user, to gather the data, process of the data, and communicate it to the user of the system. I say a lot of keywords. So you understand that? Software is the program used by computer for doing particular jobs. Already, the hardware is the machines and electronic parts in a computer or other electronic system. For example, a monitor and keyboards. And integrate information only to improve the emphasis and accuracy of the operational, financial, and spend flow, as well as the organization of the process. And integrate management system achieves the individual aspect of each process in a simple way that articulates department management in a single integrated but not integral system. It has its advantages. However, as the administration of information is complex, but it also often reduces the administrative costs of the process. On the companies, it's common have much information for analyze and data for creating. Due to the companies have business intelligence, methods and technologies for gather, store, report, and analyze business data to help people make decisions. It's a process that brings together tools that transform the data generated by the company into information that helps decision making. Some examples are the data warehouse, dashboard, ad hoc reporting, data discovery tools, and cloud data service. ERP is a acronym for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP software integrates these various functions in one complete system to streamline process and information across the entire organization. An ERP system covers data from a variety of processes in different areas in a comprehensive information system that involves the entire company. The main objective is to facilitate the day management of the operations. The information is stored in an ERP database allows the company and users to access information quickly and also allow access to center employees according to their competence. You probably are confused with these terms, aren't you? Let's understand the difference between three definitions. The integrated information system works with more specific information. ERPs work with transactional data architecture. making it easier for users to create, edit, and delete data. It's a complete system that integrates different areas. All data for all sectors of the company is on repeat BI tools with an analytical data architecture. Analytical, facilitating the dynamic analysis of large amounts of data by users. What is the importance of this information security system? As the Union says, information is one of the most important organizational assets. For an organization, information is valuable and should be appropriately protected. Security is to combine system operations and internal controls to ensure integrity and confidentiality of data and operational procedures in an organization. I say a lot of tools, definitions, and system important to a company, right? We'll go understand about the different companies type. We have two types of business. The first, B2B, business to business, and second, B2C, business to consumers. The market strategy for two types is completely different because customers of each type are motivated by different factors. We'll go understand better about these definitions and some type companies of these types that are technological. B2C, customers are motivated by feelings, needs, and desires. The B2C customer decision-making process involves the important factors such as culture, subculture, social class, social factors, psychological factors, perception, beliefs, and attitudes, and the role of the buyer. I can cite as an example Gaia. The low-value-based stream companies offers more than 8,000 online yoga practices, documentaries, and original series that create around consciousness and mind body, wellness and range in topic from nutrition and meditation to pain management and plant machine. The platform can be accessed for any mobile or desktop device. B2B. The motivation of this consumer is completely different B2C. There is nothing with the feelings. The decision-making process involves the selection of suppliers, supply management, influence, environment, organizational, interpersonal, and individuals. In addition, these customers follow the steps in purchase process that begin with the recognized problem, going through the description of the needs, product specification, search of the supplier, request for proposal, selection of suppliers, specification of the order, and performance review. I can cite as an example. SAP has voice-enabled its business by designing solution. This is a feature that is accessible to Alexa skills. Within the 12 numbers, were able to request specific figures, with Alexa will immediately receive to you. The point is, this is meant to save time and create flexibility. In some cases, there are companies that mix two types and attends both customers. For example, Amazon. Alexa, for business, this voice assistant is a tool for everything in the office. And we know Amazon for to B2C too. And you? Do you consider yourself technological? That is, connected with the technology? I believe that your answer is yes, because in some moment are faced to something connected with technology. Let your comment below if you know this word or other word, and if you would like to know the meaning, the other word or expression. Continue with Mariana to learn more about technology for startups. Bye bye.
The startups and technology are allies because startups looking for solutions based on technology and innovations. The development of technology culminates in the growth of a business modality used by startups, e-commerce. E-commerce is a modality of commerce that business and financial transactions are carried out via electronic devices devices, such as computers, tablets, and smartphones, and platforms on the internet, which has been facilitating the purchase process and offering different price and suppliers for the same product. It's important to mention that e-commerce is different from virtual stores. It is a sales strategy of the company, while the virtual store is just one channel of e-commerce. E-commerce can be used for many types of startups. Let's talk about them.
B2B, business to business. This type of startup serves other companies instead of the final consumers directly. An example is the corporate 99 Corp, transport service for companies, and Simpla, a platform for event tickets. B2C, business to consumer. This startup provides a service to the end consumer. An example is Uber, a direct-to-consumer transportation service, and Spotify, a music, podcast, and video streaming service. B2B2C, business to consumer. When a company does business with another aiming at a sale to the final consumer. In this case, iFood is a great example of a startup that partners with other companies, restaurants, to help sell easily, and Americana.com, e-commerce where companies can sell any type of products. C2C, consumer to consumer. Business where consumers buy and sell from physical persons. It is understood as a democratization of trade. An example of this type of company is Mercado Libre, a platform used to sell any type of product, new or used, and the Repassa, a platform that works as a thrift store for clothes and articles online. Eira, a Brazilian startup that created a real estate credit e-commerce specialized in granting credit and lease guarantees. The platform facilitates the delivery of proposals from real estate agents and brokers to the clients. Bonobos, a better pair of pants. The Australian startup Bonobos started with a simple mission to make a better pair of pants, and has since become one of the most popular and respected menswear brands online. Mr. Robotics, programmable robots for students and entrepreneurs. MIST is an American startup that develops easily programmable robots for students, entrepreneurs, and programmers, so that they can create skills that make it useful at work or at home. And Sleep, direct-to-sales matrix from Canada, the largest online-only direct-selling matrix company in Canada. And Sleep sells a matrix that is perfect designed for a good night's sleep.
Another technological tool used by startup is a WordPress, a free resource for content management meant to creating web pages. It is the most used blogging tool in the world. This is due to the fact of the numerous of useful tools it offers. WordPress is so well known that it has 61% share of the content management systems market in the world. The social medias that today represent the main form of connection are also partners of startups. To reach people relate, express themselves, communicate, and do business. So, startups use all their creativity to positively reach the largest numbers of target consumers.
The choice of which social media to use varies from the startup segment and the target it wants to reach. The most used by companies are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp. And the investment to make them more and more relevant has been growing, as well as the number of people looking for products and services through them. Social medias are used to interaction with the public. Brands seek to be present in various social medias to be always in evidence, and some use them in a fun way, which is still a marketing technique. Digital marketing. Companies do this through photos, videos, and publications and can use paid tools to achieve greater reach. The cluster of opening vacancies. The LinkedIn is a platform of professional interests, and some startups advertise their vacancies through it.
Some softwares are used to assist the management of startups. They can be used in several management factors such as process and task management, customer support, business intelligence and data analysis, and collaboration. It's free or paid softwares and can be used by all types of startups. Let's see some of them.
It's Perfect is a software of enterprise resource planning, ERP. Is the business management systems that has all the information about the company and can be integrated with other tools, such as an invoice issue when these additional functions aren't included in it. Thus, with only one data center, entrepreneurs can analyze financial health, issue reports, and perform all the managerial and administrative tasks. Trello, an extremely versatile list management project management tool that can be used to organize team tasks and or individually. And Lahar, a software that works in prospecting customers, used for automations of prospecting, relationship, and closing sales in a personalized way to the public through intelligent tools.
Technologies and innovations are essential for the emergence of new ideas and market. Finally, we can conclude that the development of startups accompanies the development of technology, and the opposite is also true.
Okay, so now that we got to know a little bit more about ERP systems and how they work and what they're important for in the company, let's try to understand a little bit more about the market for ERP solutions. Also, the companies that are disputing the market share and the difference between some solutions to some companies. So how they connect and how they offer this service. It's a good service for the industry in particular. Okay, so to understand a little bit more about the market for ERP solutions, we have to understand that there's a pyramid with 3 tiers. The tier 1 belongs to companies that have a revenue over $1 billion. So huge companies. The tier 2 is for companies that make between $50 million to $1 billion, and the tier 3 is from a range from $2 million to $50 million. And it's for big companies. Okay, so for the base of the pyramid, the tier 3, it's companies that have a revenue for $2 million. So yeah, we can see that it's for the big players, but it's not only for the big players. So that said, we have to understand that ERP solutions, they are designed by these companies. For example, the most common, the companies that are actually battling for the top in the market, the market share, are Oracle, SAP. They're basically these two, and there's also Sage 3. So there's a few companies, but Oracle and SAP are the most common ones, most known and used. Okay, so we have to understand that the ERP solution is trying to provide a system that's gonna connect different parts of the company, departments or business. And with that said, we know that, for example, in tier 1 or tier 2 of the pyramid, there's a long list of varieties of companies and business, like different core business that they have. So every solution is gonna be different for each company. These systems, these solutions, ERP solutions, they are really expensive for the customer, for the companies. So, and we can see that the tiers in the pyramid are for big players. And what happens is there's a default solution for ERP solution that you can buy, but you can also customize that solution to your needs. Okay, so that doesn't mean if I buy the system from SAP, for example, to my company, it's probably going to be different from the company that's my neighbor, because they have different needs, they have different budgets, their priorities in the business itself is different, their car business is different. So the system's probably gonna be, it's the same system, it's gonna gather the same information mainly, but you can have some customizations that are gonna differ from one to another. So with that said, for example, if we take the industry, there's car manufacturers, there are pharmaceutical companies, there are a whole variety of companies that their car business is different, so they're gonna have different systems just within the industry segment. And when we talk about service providers, much like banking or some financial companies like accountants, they're gonna have their own and dedicated systems. Some companies that are a little bit smaller than those big players, they're to have a differentiation in the market, they're gonna build some systems to certain niches. But we know that the ERP solutions, they are really good for every company. So you can basically make your own with Microsoft Office, for example, in the further in the course we're gonna learn that with Professor Pinha. But with that being said, you can there's a lot of companies that have a ERP system, but uses some third-party systems to complement that and to make it more true to their reality. So basically, when we talking about the big players, it's Oracle and SAP, and different segments of industries and services are gonna use different kinds of solutions, just because they're customizing it to their needs. But it's important to say that customizing, it's also very expensive for the company. So that's why it's most common for companies to buy the solution and then adapt their needs. They buy the solution for their core business and the most important departments, and then just try to adapt the other departments with other systems sometimes.
Hello everyone, this is Christopher with InMotion Hosting. If you've arrived here at the InMotion Hosting YouTube channel, then you've probably heard the acronym CMS. If you've heard it once, you've heard it at least twice. But you want to know what a CMS is and how you can use it. CMS is just an acronym for content management system. A content management system is basically a program that helps you manage a lot of content. So for example, if you wanted to write a blog and you don't know how to code with PHP or MySQL, then don't worry. Content management system is just what you need. For our examples in this video, we'll be talking about WordPress. WordPress is definitely the most popular CMS out there. Whether you wanted to start a blog or a static website, WordPress provides the tools you need. So all you need to do is write. We have a full guide about how to get started and work productively in WordPress. The great part about most CMSs are their expandability. Most CMSs support third-party plugins that expand or support elements already pre-built in the CMS. Is there an advantage to using a CMS as opposed to coding a site yourself? It depends on your goals. A CMS offers a friendly interface, support documentation, a community of users, lots of templates, and easy installations. However, because so many people use a CMS like WordPress, this means security is a big concern. If the CMS you're using is open source, that means a lot of people know the code and how to exploit it. A CMS limits your options for customizability to some extent because your usage conforms to how the program is intended to be used. But even this is not a terrible problem because, at least in the case of WordPress, there are so many templates and plugins to choose from that your site can be completely unique. Because the CMS requires some knowledge of the inner workings, this means the new members of your team will need to be trained. If these concerns throw roadblocks in your plan, you can always have a developer build you a custom site. But we think for most users a CMS is a great option to have. I hope this video has helped explain what a CMS is and why you might want to use one for your website. For a full tutorial on installing and using WordPress, check out our support center or stay tuned right here to the InMotion Hosting YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and thank you for watching.
Digital marketing has altered the perception of how businesses run and how they can achieve their goals. To build brand recognition along with an online presence, digital marketing companies are now focusing on content management more than ever before. Many are turning towards content management systems, or the CMSs, for assistance. It helps to create and manage the content on a website, including its design, graphics, or even code. The ease of accessibility to the online world has created a digital revolution. More and more marketing companies in the world are driven to up their digital marketing skills to remain competitive in their virtual space. Businesses have been able to widen their reach and boost sales, implementing the strategies that adeptly target a potential audience and convert them into loyal customers. Business owners are looking for ways to manage every aspect of their digital marketing footprint, from site design to social medias and everything in between. Managing your web presence is integral in today's market. There are several reasons why you need a strong online presence. It reinforces your brand, boosts your marketing efforts, and most importantly, helps you connect with your customers. But where do you start? After all, there are thousands of must-have tools out there that claim they help with web management. When it comes to web design, you've got several options that are easy to navigate, have beautiful templates, and provide easy click to edit functionally to make creating a beautiful website easily. Here it is the most popular. WordPress is a content management system, or CMS, that makes it easy to regularly update your website with fresh blogs, posts, news stories, and more. WordPress does have a slight if you want e-commerce capabilities, that flexibility and scalability
are ideal for online stores. To fulfill those needs, you can use the Shopify. It is a subscription-based e-commerce platform that makes it easy for beginners to build and customize an online store in very little time. It also provides a guru service to guide you through the creation and management of your e-commerce site. All types of businesses need to be present in social medias, and Hootsuite integrates with Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus pages, LinkedIn, Foursquare, MySpace, YouTube, WordPress. It allows you to schedule posts ahead of time, focusing on peak performance times for each platform. It's not enough to build your website and forget it. You've got to be strategic about getting your brand out into the world. And to develop an effective e-commerce strategy for your business, it is vital to choose the platform that will help you to keep your customer in mind throughout the entire development and research. The examples I said before can help you to grow your conversion rates, maintain an active customer review section, improve your product visibility, and brand awareness.
Hi, I'm Augusto, and now I will show you some tools that every entrepreneur must use if they want to have some market advantages. The first one is competitive intelligence. Competitive intelligence, sometimes referred as to corporate intelligence, is the ability to gather, analyze, and use information collected on competitors, customers, and other market factors. Competitive intelligence is important because it helps business understand their competitive environment and the opportunities and challenges it presents. Business analyze the information to create effective and efficient business practices. Competitive intelligence activities can be separated in two different groups, the tactical and the strategic. Tactical intelligence is shorter term and seeks to provide input into issues such as capturing market share or increasing revenues. And the strategic intelligence focus on the long-term issues like keyframes and opportunities surrounding the enterprise. The other tool is setting up a business model. That basically is a company's plan to make profit. It identifies the product or service the company will sell. Then the target market is identified and the expenses are anticipated. Sometimes new companies or business use business model to attract more investors. An established business must always revisit their business plan or business model to be able to predict trends and be able to overcome new challenges. Successful business have reached a business plan that can fulfill their client needs at a competitive price and a sustainable cost. And now I will show you an example of a business model. Here as an example we have the Twitter business model. Twitter is a social media that is very famous nowadays. And here we have its business model. We can see that the key partners, key activities, key resources, value proposition, relationship, customer segments, channels, cost structures, and revenue streams are the most important information that Twitter owners think they must see or think they must get an upgrade, think they must follow. So here in key partners are the most important partners that Twitter have. Key activities are the most important activities that Twitter must run to keep good, to keep getting new users. The key resources are the most important tools that Twitter have to keep its state, to be popular. The value propositions are the Twitter propositions that made Twitter Twitter. Relationships are relationship with other companies that now Twitter doesn't have none, but they might in the future see new trends that relationship with other social media important. They must add some here. Channels is where Twitter is available. They put here to see where they can expand more their horizons. Customer segments. Who is Twitter targeting for? It's users, enterprises, and developers. The cost structure, the cost, how much Twitter must spend to keep Twitter running is for the employees and servers. And here the revenue streams is from where Twitter gets its money from. So this is just one business model, and I hope it was easier for you to see how business model actually works. Other tool is the design thinking. That basically is an approach for practical and creative problem solving. Design thinking is extremely user-centric. It focuses in humans first and foremost, seeking to understand and fulfill people's needs. There are 4 principles of design thinking that I will explain you with a figure.
So here we have the 4 principles of design thinking. The first one is the human rule. No matter what the context, all design activity is social in nature, and any social innovation will bring us back to the human-centric point of view. The second one is the ambiguity rule. Ambiguity is inevitable, and it cannot be removed or oversimplified. Experimenting at the limits of your knowledge and ability is crucial in being able to see things differently. The third one is the all design is redesign, so the redesign rule. All design is redesign. While technology and social circumstances may change and evolve, basic human needs remain unchanged. We essentially only redesign the means of fulfilling these needs or reaching desired outcomes. And the last one is the tangible rule, the tangibility rule. Making ideas tangible in the form of prototypes enable design to communicate them more effectively. Based on the 4 principles, the design thinking process can be broken down into 5 steps: the emphasize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. The phase 1, emphasize, is spent getting to know the users, understanding their wants, needs, and objectives. The second stage, define, is dedicated to defining the problem. Now you will gather all of your findings from the emphasize phase and start to make sense of them. What difficulties and barriers are your users coming up against? What patterns do you observe? What is the big user problem that your team needs to solve? By the end of the define phase, you will have a clear problem statement. Once you formulated the problem into words, you can start to come up with solutions and ideas. The third phase is ideate, and with a solid understanding of your users, a clear problem stated in mind, it's time to working on potential solutions. In this phase is where the creativity happens, and it's crucial to point out that the ideation state is judgment-free zone. Designers will hold ideation sessions in order to come up with as many new angles and ideas as possible. There are many different types of ideation techniques that designer might use, from brainstorming and mind mapping to body storming and provocation. An extreme lateral thinking technique that gets designer to challenge established beliefs and explore new options and alternatives. Towards the end of the ideation phase, you will narrow it down to a few ideas in which you will move forward. And now you are at the phase 4, prototype. that this process is all about experimentation and turning ideas into tangible objects. A prototype is basically a scaled down version of the product which incorporates the potential solutions identified in the previous stages. This step is key in putting each solution to the test and highlighting any constraints and flaws. Throughout the prototype stage, the proposed solutions may be accepted, improved, redesigned, or rejected depending on how they fare in prototype form. And the last step is test. That after prototyping, you need to start getting some user testing, but it's important to note that this is rarely the end of the design thinking process. In reality, the results of the testing phase will often lead you back to a previous step, providing the insights you need to redefine the original problem statement or to come up with new ideas you hadn't thought before.
Other two are agile methodologies. That is a process by which a team can manage a project by breaking it up into several stages and involving constant collaboration with stakeholders and continuous improvement and iteration at every stage. This methodology begins with the client describing how the end product will be used and which problem it will solve. Once the work begins, teams cycle through a process of planning, executing, and evaluating, which might just change the final deliverable to fit the customer's needs better. Continuous collaboration is key, both among team members and with project stakeholders, to make fully informed decisions. And at last, I will talk about the 3 T's. That are team, tenacity, and timing. The first one, team, is very important because you're not going to establish a new trademark or not going to reach any goal without a reliable team. People are very important to build your own space on the market, people that you can trust and can be trusted by you. The second one, tenacity, is very important because no one can assure you 100% that your plans are going to work. Planning is not perfect. There are going to be a lot of mistakes that will happen. It doesn't depend only on you. Depends on the market, depends on luck, depends on a lot of things that you can't control. So you must be able to withstand the pressure and continue with your plan, with your initial idea of company. So then you can be brave enough to keep going even though you might fall in the path. And the third one, timing, arguably the most difficult of the 3. Is the most difficult one because you can't control time. You aren't able to know when's the best time to launch a new product or to start a new business. You have to go with the flow. It's a little bit of luck, it's a little bit of knowing the market, but you have to have timing. Timing is essential to any business. It's very difficult because there's a lot of ups and downs. If you are too slow, some people will surely overcome you. If you are too quick, you won't have a structure to help you. You can't predict time.